What I'm about to show you is how we're able to halve the cost per lead and double the lead volume for a major company in Sydney offering both plumbing and electrical work, and basically running an overview of how we did it. Now, this video isn't going to be super technical. I'm not going to go through every single campaign, but I'll provide two screenshots comparing the before and after. What's really important when you're running Google Ads is knowing that every year it's just going to get more and more expensive. So you need to find new and creative ways in order to decrease that cost. So this client in particular, ever since November, he was actually not getting the result he used to get from all the years prior. So since November, the cost of leads just continuously went up. Now, I'm not going to bore you with all the technical stuff that you don't want to hear. The main thing we did besides all the technical stuff is actually optimize Google Ads for cost per converted lead. So rather than just paying to get leads, like basically phone calls and form submissions, we're actually optimizing Google to get closed jobs. So all the data we're getting from Google, so all the leads that we're getting and putting into our CRM, we're actually sending data back on which leads are actually converting that have come from Google and sending that back to Google. And by doing that, Google has more data and information on the customers that are actually turning into a job rather than any silly old lead that calls you for, things that aren't even involved in electrical or plumbing. So that is the major thing that we did. And since then, we're actually achieving cost per closed jobs, not cost per lead, of under $200 for a closed job worth at least $1 to $2 grand a pop. Now, that's obviously a customer, so you can sell them more things, but the most important thing to know is we are getting closed jobs from Google and not just simple old leads. Now, besides optimizing for closed jobs, the main thing you need to watch out for is the cost per click, making sure that it's favorable and making sure that the conversion rates are as high as possible. So you want to have better cost per clicks and you want to look at your conversion rates. You want your cost per clicks to be lower. Now it's going to vary based on the city that you're in, but you want to make sure that your conversion rates are well over 20-30% so you can get as many of those clicks into actual leads as possible. You want to make sure that all your phone calls, rather than just being a second long, you want to actually optimize for phone calls that are well over 2 minutes long, because that by then you've got all the customer's information and more likely to actually close. So it's really those four things that have managed to halve the cost per lead. So it started out being 200 all the way up to 400 in some cases, and we're getting that down to 100 and max 150 to 200 for those really high-end jobs. So that's all you really need to do. That's how we were able to achieve that for this client. So instead of spending 60 grand and getting X number of leads, now we're spending 60 grand and getting more than double the leads we were getting before. And we're actually optimizing for closed jobs. So Google is showing our ads to people more likely to actually convert into a job rather than anyone that's actually going to make a phone call to the business. So that's what you need to do. If you're spending even $10,000 a month and you're not tracking actual closed jobs for the business, that's what you need to do right now. Track your closed jobs. So which ones from Google are actually turning into a job and revenue for your business. And that's how you're going to make significantly more money with Google Ads. If you run a trades-based business and you are spending more than $5,000 or $10,000 a month and you want to actually optimize for closed jobs and you want to make more revenue from Google Ads, you can actually book a call with my team below and we can show you exactly how we can set it all up so that you can get more leads for less cost and actually get more closed jobs as well, so you can lower your customer acquisition cost. I look forward to seeing you in the next one.